Kavanaugh is going to reverse Roe v. Wade. I have no doubt. Gorsuch is going to reverse Roe v. Wade. I have no doubt. So what do? Protect ourselves. Pass a state law that is a prophylactic from the federal action, and that means pass Roe Reproductive Health Act and the Contraceptive Care Act.
With Democrats now in control of the state Senate and Assembly, as well as the governor's office, codifying Roe v. Wade in state law is expected to occur during the legislative session that actually starts today. For an in-depth look at the Christian view in the battle over abortion, I spoke with David Rives. He is the president of DavidRivesMinistries.com, which focuses on teaching the biblical worldview of God's creation. So, David, with abortion rights being at the forefront of political activism right now, why is it important to understand the pro-life not just from a political perspective, but from a scientific perspective as well?
Well, the reason it's important is because if all we are is the result of billions of mutations, plus chance, plus time, well, then what does that do to the value of human life? It reduces us to a mere animal, doesn't it? That false argument is what's being pushed through an atheistic agenda, and it's appealing to these certain people. But if human life is nothing more than a collection of trillions of cells, which is what many biologists are teaching these days, then the atheistic agenda has succeeded in making abortion seem palatable. But we're so much more than that. We have soul, we have spirit, and contrasting us to the animal kingdom, the most significant difference is that according to the Bible, we're created in the image of the God of the Bible, distinctly different than, say, an ape or a chimpanzee or any creature.
Expand that a bit. Can you contrast the science of biology and genetics against what is currently being pushed by intellectual atheists, if you will?
Sure. Well, it's fascinating to realize that we are unique individuals from day one. We have a 100% unique DNA code from day one. So I'm not talking about from birth, but from conception. So to even consider discarding a tiny baby just because it's in the womb and hasn't taken its first breath of air yet is to discard a unique human being that God cares about and deny him or her the opportunity to fulfill this great purpose in life. So if you add to this that when we look at DNA and our genetic sequence, we see a complex information language written out, and we know that language always comes from a mind, well, we have to ask ourselves, who is that mind? And all the evidence is leading us to a closer revelation that it's the God of the Bible.
Does the abortion issue speak to objective morality, and why is a Christian perspective important?
Yes, so we have God-given morality, which instinctively tells us that murder is inherently wrong. And we live in a society that also tells us that murder is inherently wrong, except when it comes to our youngest children. Now, that objective morality, saying that our moral objection to murder applies sometimes but not others, is something that we really need to tackle in a big way as Christians, because we have the only concrete answers as to why human life actually matters.
Why do you think at this point we're seeing people like Hillary Clinton and Governor Cuomo uniting to push abortion rights at the state level?
Well, you know, it not only speaks to the value and sanctity of human life at a young age, but after birth as well. We're talking about suicides. Teen suicide is on the rise. 22 veteran suicides every single day. But this pushing of a leftist agenda is simply not going to go anywhere, because we do have morality, and it's not what we decide it to be. We have a greater power. It's the God of the Bible, and he has set down these rules. We cannot try to go away from these just because it doesn't fit our worldview.
All right, David Rives, thank you so much for your time. Much